Hey guys, Hooked of Blueprint here. Today we got another OP Yo-Yo video for you. Now in the last Yo-Yo video, I showed you how he takes down those toxic ring bases with Super Bowler Smash. If you haven't watched it already, I could not recommend it enough. The crack on rings is absolutely broken. But thankfully, he's actually shared a few extra replays with us, including some from his final day on a wide variety of bases. So you're going to see how he uses Super Bowler Smash on literally every base style in the game. So we're going to start off the video with sort of a diamond slash anti-2 base. And we're going to introduce something new here. Obviously, that other video we did with Yo-Yo, he started with all Warden walks. But now I'm going to show you the power of the Queen walk. Now, obviously, Warden walks to start the attack are really good because they're stable and they're really easy to control, whereas the Queen is a bit less predictable. You can't just pull her over to your main army. But you're going to see the value of the Queen walk right here. Now, whilst the Queen's going down here, baby drag with the... He didn't even use the barb, actually. There we go, the double archer. Just going to use that flame flinger for the eagle because he thinks that's enough value. Obviously, the two ground bows will kill the flame flinger after the eagle, but the value will be enough. But let's come back to this Queen walk because look at the range of this single inferno. Doesn't quite reach over the walls, and Yo-Yo would have known that. And have a look at, like, A, the work the Queen's put it in, but B, think of it like this, right? That Queen walk has taken about, I think it's 40 seconds, and she's cleared, obviously not a huge proportion of the base, but a pretty solid amount. The Warden would have taken already a minute to get all this. So Yo-Yo's already saved 20 seconds time by doing the Queen walk. Yes, it's more risky, but if you know what you're doing, that 20 seconds can make the biggest difference in the world between tripling and time failing. So, starting with the funnel, look at this king, by the way. He just understands how his king's paths is beautiful, and I want you to watch these super bowlers, because he hasn't deployed them yet. He does not want them to walk. And have a look at that. He deploys them really low. And why is he doing that? Well, if he deploys like the super bowlers here, there's a chance they go up for this, up for the air defense. It's likely going to be down in time, but, you know, super bowlers will find a way. And if they go up for this air defense, it's pretty likely that they go around the corner. So he delays and makes 100% sure that these super bowlers are going in. Super bowler pathing is wonky as. So if you want to be good at this army, you gotta know how to control them, sorry. Super Bowler Smash coming in quite nicely here. We haven't really lost any Super Bowlers yet. We have lost one Titan, but that's alright. And the Super Bowlers putting in work. We had to pop the Warden ability. There's just so much damage in the core here. And the RC is coming at the top of the screen. I think the Flame Flinger has popped as well. No, it hasn't quite yet. Now, obviously, the Hound is kind of hurting our troops here. The Super Minion kills the Titan. The Titan just really doesn't do that much damage, but it did its role in this army, and this kind of turned into a Queen charge. But look at this, he's still got a skeleton spell left, he's still got his Queen ability, and another rage spell. So the Queen ability will go off here. Make sure he does it with plenty of health on the Queen. You can't really afford that Queen to die through her ability. Her ability's far too valuable. Still got the RC ability and the Diggy, and then the Yetis on the outside, and look at this. It's not going to be an overkill by any stretch of the imagination, but it is going to be just enough to get through. RC ability goes off there. You really need to upgrade your cannons, and look at this. This skeleton spell has never got more value than it has right now. This poor single Inferno. It's trying its best, but it will never stop the skeleton spells. And look at this. Pretty comfortable in the end. We've still got all the Yetis and all their Yeti mites. A couple of sneaky gobs going around as well as the RC. So a really nice attack there from Yo-Yo, showing the power of the Queen walk to start into the smash. I'll show you a few more attacks with that though. I will also add that later this month, Yo-Yo will be doing a masterclass at Blueprint. It's an event that you simply put cannot miss. There are limited spaces available. I will say it is incredibly affordable though, where Yo-Yo is going to do a class on voice for you all. It will be recorded in case you're not there to catch it live, but trust me, you want to catch it live. He'll be teaching you all how to do Super Bowler Smash, and what better player to do it. He had 3 of the top 4 accounts in the world. All the links you could possibly need will be in the description below. Okay, so a teaser base here. Now, I've paused it immediately because I kind of want to show you why this is really smart from Yo-Yo. By the way, first invis tower, you'll see the effect that has later. But starting with the Queen Walk, also look at when the Queen was deployed. 2 minutes 56. Yo-Yo undoubtedly would have time failed this if he started with the Warden Walk. So showing the benefit of the Queen Walk there. But you're going to see an extra benefit here because on the outside of this base here is the CC. Now, the CC is an extremely valuable building on the base for an attacker because, you know, for instance, if you're doing a smash and there's a hound in the defensive CC, that can tie up your queen for a seriously long time and hold her up whilst you're in the core of the base. But a lot of teasers will give you the CC for free. So Yo-Yo just says, thanks for that. I will take that gift of yours. And look, just going to deal with this really, really easily. Anytime you can get rid of the CC for free, do it. And also, think if he had the Warden down now, how long this would take. Now, this is really smart here. Waits for all the pups to lock onto either a healer or the queen before deploying the flinger. If he deployed the flinger at the start, then a bunch of pups would have locked onto the flinger and we'd be in trouble here. Now, unfortunately, a few pups switch at the end because we did lose a healer because the poison had just run out. But not much you can do about that. Flame Flinger keeps most of its health, and we did want to deploy it as early as possible because it has to set a funnel here. As you can tell, it has gotten rid of, what was it? An Expo and a Builder Hut, I think? I don't know, and a Tesla. Regardless, it has set the funnel beautifully here for our queen. Now, it is following our queen for a bit, but it will come down and get rid of all this. Meanwhile, the king's on the top side, setting a perfect funnel as always, and here comes our smash. We freeze the invis tower probably slightly early. The freeze on the town hall is always nice, but probably wanted to freeze a second later, and you'll see why in about 1 second, and yep, it wasn't worth the extra freeze. Yes, obviously you'd rather get the town hall down early, but if your troops are invincible, doesn't really matter anyway, and actually it helps, because look at it, the Super Bowlers take down the town hall, but aren't standing on the town hall poison. Flame Fling are doing work down the bottom, the RC's already deployed at the top, so it's only spells that we've got left here. Now, you're going to see Yo-Yo make a rare mistake with his queen ability here, because look at this, pops it super late, finds a giant bomb, she's dead, and suddenly this attack will actually get quite close. Super Bowler does great work at getting rid of the Expo. The RC's on the top side. Super Bowler also gets rid of the multi. But unfortunately places the skeleton spell on the single, kind of poorly timed. We use a rage to help our RC out here, but look at this. The skeleton spells run out, and the defensive RC locks onto our RC, and she is alive and well. The Frostmites come in and try and do damage, but they do literally no damage. But the Yetis are going to be just enough here. We've still got one wall break left, which will be really handy there. Beautifully done. And we are just going to run over the end. Time was close though, and if he had started with the Warden Walk, it's an absolute fail. So Yo-Yo yet again showing the value of starting with a Queen Walk. In the next attack though, he's going to start with a full-blown Queen Charge. A anti-2 / it's probably a ring base. You can call it what you want, but have a look at this. Now, he is not using the Flame Flinger on the complete other side of the base this time, and the reason's pretty simple. Look at the value this Flame Flinger can get. I will also add, by the way, that he is planning on entering with this smash all the way over here, so he's going to Queen Charge a fair portion of the base here. But because he's entering all the way up here, these buildings here that the Flame Flinger is going to get are kind of like back-end buildings on the base, essentially, because they're after the Town Hall goes down. So the Flinger's kind of serving the same purpose, but it's also serving a secondary purpose in getting this air defense down, just to make sure our Queen Charge isn't ruined here. You'll also notice he's brought the Warden with the charge. The Warden adds damage and is always a good option, except in a couple scenarios. One, when there's a multi-inferno, because if the Warden takes damage, some of the time the healers will switch, but mainly it's very bad when there's a sweeper, because the healers get pushed back by the sweeper, and if your Warden has taken any damage, whether it be from like a scatter shot, mortar, multi-inferno, the healers will heal the Warden until it's kind of full health. But you see no multi-infernos on this charge, no sweepers, so it is really safe. And I mean, look at the value this is getting. It's quite simply ridiculous. So we Queen Charge this entire compartment. I also like this charge because look at it. You know, we've got closed compartments. You know exactly where this queen's going to go, so you can control her. There's no real threat of her dying. There wasn't a lot of damage on this charge. It's just really well done. Also, look at those Super Bowler bounces. So smart. He doesn't even have to use a wizard or a baby drake to funnel. Starts his king super high because he needs those buildings funneled. Yet again, just understanding a funnel is something that Yo-Yo absolutely excels at. In saying that, the queen will walk here, so it does look bad for a second, but trust me, it's all going to work out in the end. Super Bowler Smash is coming in brilliantly. We freeze the monolith for our queen. Perfect Warden ability. The healers have stayed on our queen, so the Super Bowlers, they just got to get as much value as they can whilst they're alive. The king still hasn't popped his ability, by the way. I don't care if there's no healers on our Smash in the core. This is pretty clapped. King ability goes off, Yetis are down the bottom, RC's up the top, and that shows the true power of a queen charge there. We dealt with the CC yet again, kind of for free. It just cost us a rage spell. The Flame Flinger got heaps of value. It was kind of like a queen charge Lalo hit at Town Hall 14. You queen charge with the Flame Flinger on one side and the king on the other, and except in this one, you have an entire Smash to help out your queen charge. Absolutely disgusting hit here. This guy is so good. There's a reason he finished number 1, number 2, and number 4 in the world. We still got more replays for you though. Okay, we have a box space here. We actually haven't seen a box space the entire video. So, let's see how he takes it down. This crack is so nice, and you're going to see the value here of the Warden Walk and why he picks the Warden Walk. We'll wait for him to deploy his first troop. There goes the Warden. Get the healers on it ASAP. And then come in with the Flame Flinger. Now, why has he come in with the Warden? Because this right here is priority number 1. That building there, that expo, is a problem. Because if he just started a queen walk through here, he can't reach that expo. So A, that expo might pull his queen in and ruin his pathing, but B, the expo can just shoot at our flinger. So we need the Warden Walk here to get rid of that ground bow to set up the Flame Flinger. And look, if this ground bow is gone, then this Flame Flinger can get so much value. Yes, there's another ground bow, but it's all the way over here. By then, the Flame Flinger will have got more than enough value. So really smart choice for the Warden Walk here. But he has to use the Rage, unfortunately. But once you use a Rage on your Warden, you may as well kind of commit to it. And I really like what he does here, right? Let's pause it. Let's pause it. So he's got the first wall break set here. Now, if he wanted to, he could try and pull the Warden. But to pull the Warden, he'd probably have to put a troop sort of here. And if he puts a Queen or a Super Bowler here, there's actually a chance they go through here because of these Teslas that have appeared. And also the multi-mortar. They could go around the wall for that. So Yo-Yo is incredibly patient here. He knows that he has to have an elite funnel. You have to have a great funnel for Super Bowlers. Otherwise, you're going to fail. So he invests the time. Yes, obviously time is critical, as we talked about with Queen Walks earlier. But he invests the time here and he gets maximum value. And look at that. Like, sure, they could go around for the mortar, but that would be ridiculous pathing. It's just a perfect funnel. Look at that, the mortar goes down anyway. That is an elite funnel. That is the best possible funnel you could ask for. And also, look at the clock. He gets rid of the final 71% of this base in 71 seconds. So if you have a good funnel and know what you're doing, you can make up the time. It's just about knowing when to commit to the Warden Walk and when not to. Perfect jump spell, forces the Super Bowlers inside the base, and we pop that Warden ability, and oh my word, the bounces are good. And look at this, there is a defensive Ice Golems there, multiple, so that actually slows up our attack. If this was like a Hound, we would have got through this even quicker. And I mean, the entire core's gone. The Flame Fling is still chilling on the top side. The RC is on the bottom. Like, we're about to lose our final Super Bowler, but doesn't really matter. The heroes are good enough to finish the rest of the base here. Really nice skeleton. Unfortunately, the multi is a slight factor here. That's okay. We find the NATO, raged RC with a headhunter, and the Queen takes out the multi. Crushed. Absolutely crushing triple, and it's all set up by the Flame Flinger and the Warden Walk. They're perfectly done. Yo-Yo understanding how to set a funnel and how to make up time with this OP strategy. Okay, we have a ring here, we have double poison, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, Hooked, why didn't we have this in the first video? Great question, and this is why. He's not going to use a flame flinger. Now, he is sitting on the blimp at the moment, and he's just switched to the flame flinger, so maybe you're like, maybe he will use it. I'm telling you, I'm going to guess at the moment, he's trying to figure out which siege he wants to use. Like, sometimes 30 seconds planning time isn't enough, which is why I also like the Warden Walk. It's pretty easy to do, and you can kind of plan the rest of your hit. So he's still sitting on the Flame Flinger, but there's just not a lot of value for the Flame Flinger on this base. So what's he going to come in with? I'm waiting for him to switch it. There we are, the Siege Barracks. I actually really like Siege Barracks with Super Bowler Smash on ring bases, because essentially the thought is, because he's obviously going to come in from up here, if you have on a flank a King and a Siege Barracks, as long as the walls are open, which they generally are on rings, not as much this one, but a lot they are, the King and the Siege Barracks combined can take out like this much of the base. So it does kind of take out the back end of the base anyway. You've just got to protect the Wizards. The Wizards are the ones doing the real damage. So the King and P.E.K.K.A. got to put in work here. Now, you're actually going to see Yo-Yo have a pretty poor funnel here. Have a look at how all his troops path. He puts down the jump because he expects all his troops to go in. But his troops have, yeah, they've walked. So he's going to pop the Warden early, I believe. Yep. Which is smart because he kept 2 Super Bowlers alive that we're going to die any second. But look at where all his troops are. It's a bit of a mess here. The Siege Barracks has opened, but look, he's still got the P.E.K.K.A. with a bunch of Wizards. He will need the King to get and the Yetis to come in front and tank. But they're going to put in some serious work once the Yetis do get in front. The Queen has stayed back. And she's actually doing some pretty good work here. Her job, just to get the Town Hall at this point. Because we still got the King with both of our Titans in the middle. And we got the Yeti and the Wizards on the outside here. Queen does just get the Town Hall. We pop her ability. She gets rid of the Poison Tower. Can she get rid of the RC? Beautifully done. Now, it doesn't really look tripled. And it's not an overkill by any stretch. But these Wizards are still alive, helping out the Yetis, and I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about the Siege Barracks. Now, this Skeleton spell is really smart. He made sure that A, it's tanking the Monolith, but more importantly, it's not in range of the Multi-Inferno. If the Skeletons were in range of the Multi, it would wreck. And the Monolith would not be tanked at all. RC doing beautiful work. The Diggy is still alive, and we are just gonna overwhelm the back of this base here. And that's all the Yo-Yo videos or attacks I have for you from his November season. Like I said earlier in the video, if you want to learn from him, if you want to see him in action and have a class of his, I could not recommend enough getting in that masterclass. As I said earlier in the video, everything you could possibly need is in the description below. But simply put, it's just an event you can't miss. I think even I will be there. So if you want to hang out on, I guess, voice with me, even though I'll be muted, that's where I'll be. But that's it from us today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon.